Hello everybody, and welcome back to Forza Horizon 3. I am here taking a look at a car from the newest Logitech DLC pack. It's the HSV GTSR, I think? Let me just take a look. Yes, GTSR, that's the name of it. Yeah, I wanted to take a look at one of the new cars in this pack. I actually did take a look at the Morgan three-wheeler, and I was going to use it until I found out that it just doesn't have anywhere near the parts needed to get the anywhere near even the top of A class. You can get kind of close to mid A class with it, and that's it. So yeah, we're going to be taking this down our Rainforest Sprint course. So I think I'm going to put the turbos on it to start off with. I don't know if we're going to need an engine swap. We can put the V8, the V10, the V12 in it. Engines go in just about every car. I'm going to leave it as its standard drivetrain. We are going to put the Forza aero bits on it just to make sure that we have all of the downforce. That is actually quite an interesting wing. We will have the Forza wing though for all of the downforce. We will go to the compound and put on the race tires and maximum tire widths. We get two 6.5s on the front and 305s on the rear, which are pretty good going considering this car I believe is in the muscle category. It's kind of the size tires you would expect out of a muscle car. So yeah, I'm not going to fiddle around with any of the gearbox stuff right now. I want to get all the handling bits on it to start. We don't want rally suspension. I am going to want to get weight out of this. It does start 3,600 pounds, which is quite heavy. I am also going to want a roll cage in it. Now let's see how much weight we can take out. So we get down around the 300,000. Yeah, 300,000 pounds. Spot on. No, around the 3,000 pound mark. So yeah, hopefully we'll be getting some decent amount of power out of this. I'm not sure what the standard engine will get power wise. 440, we're about halfway through, so we're probably going to be looking at mid 500, maybe 600 horsepower. I'm going to try to get a little bit more weight out of some of these upgrades. I can never remember which ones take out weight. That doesn't air filter, do you? Yes, you do. What about these? Those do. That does not. And those do. Okay, so now we just need to put on a few more bits. The camshafts always add in quite a bit of power. So yeah, we're mid 500 horsepower, just under 3,000 pounds at the moment, but we do still have quite a bit of space for upgrades. Did I do pistons? Yes, I did. So I did those. I didn't. Yes, I did do valves. I did camshafts. I didn't do ignition. It looks like we're going to be able to get all of the power parts on the car. I'm just going to go stick this flywheel on, save a little bit more weight. I am going to have to go to the gearbox and see. Oh, that didn't make one difference in PI, and it was 16 pounds taken off. Okay, so the race transmission is apparently worse. Why? 200 miles an hour. Okay, I'm not seeing why this is worse. You get to your top speed quicker. Okay, I'm just gonna go with whichever one actually gives me the most PI, that one. Please don't tell me this is gonna be really awkward and be like a few PI down. It's actually looking that way. What can I do? Maybe the intercooler would add. Okay, so that adds like 1 PI. Gonna have to go with it and hope that this adds. Okay, that takes away PI. That is actually quite annoying. I wonder, did the roll cage take away PI or add? Okay, so it does add PI. Huh, we are at one of the awkward stages of we actually can't get this to the top. So I am actually going to have to not go with the standard engine because apparently it just can't get to the top of S1 class. 3 PI short. That is actually quite annoying. I'm going to go with the V8. I'm not a huge fan of using the V10 and the V12, unless, especially not in a car like this. This is a car that you would kind of expect a V8 in. So I'm going to stick with the V8. I am going to... do I want turbos or do I want supercharger? It gives me the same amount of power but more weight. I'm going to go with the turbos just because I want to save the weight. Okay, so let's upgrade the exhaust. Okay, so that actually almost just put us to the top. Can I get a camshaft on? I could for 81 horsepower. How much did the exhaust give me? Only gave me 16, so I'm definitely better going with the camshaft. But I wonder... Ooh, I could upgrade the turbos. Excuse me. What else could I upgrade? I could put on pistons. I just want to have a peek, see if I get maybe an air filter or something on. I highly doubt it'll get any more power parts in this car. Nope. What about a flywheel? No, we will not get a flywheel. What about oil and cooling? Ooh, we can get that on. We'll add a bit of weight though, that's the only thing. Yeah, that adds quite a bit of weight. What about this? How much weight would this save us? Quite a bit. Yeah, the 6 horsepower isn't worth it. I don't think it should have messed with any of this stuff. So I'm actually thinking maybe if I take that off and yeah, I'm definitely going to want the clutch on. Maybe if I just take one stage off. I'm just trying to feel around because I want to get as much power out of this as I can. I could put that on. I could get that on. Alright, so we're sitting at 661 horsepower. 2,800 pounds, closer to 2,900, but yeah, this car stands a good chance. It has a decent power to weight ratio. It just depends on how much grip we have through the corners, and to find out how quick it will go down our track, we will have to take it for its 3 runs. Alright, we are here at the Rainforest Grand Sprint to take the HSV, I almost said Holden, HSV for its 3 runs down the course. First thing I notice is a bit of wheel spin off the line. I mean, this is a rear wheel drive car with over 660 horsepower in it. I think it's actually one of the first cars? No, it can't be. I'm just trying to think what other cars we had spin its wheels like that off the line. Because the last few cars we've had have been fairly decent in not spinning their wheels. They would, like, off the line, but not up in the second gear like this car did. The brakes are pretty good on it. We do have a little bit of understeer creeping in there. I'll have to watch out for that through some of these faster corners. I'm also going to be very aware of the factor that the back end on this does feel a little bit loose. Now I'm not sure how much that's going to impact our times. I don't know if it's going to have sudden snappy oversteer or if it's going to be manageable and just kind of feel loose but kind of stay in check almost. We will find out fairly quickly though. It seems to be doing pretty decent here. Down this hill towards this big braking zone. This is a real test of how much grip it has. Well, it didn't do too bad out of there. It didn't spin its wheels out of the corner. I was kind of careful on our power delivery there though. This is another section, well, not really a section, but a corner that can really test cars. I did have to lift a tiny brake because I felt like we were going to understeer off into that wall. Some cars can just carry so much speed through there that it's ridiculous. I'm not actually sure if this car is actually going faster. It does seem to accelerate fairly decently. Not sure if it's our quickest accelerating out of all the cars that we've had. We have had some cars that just kind of rocketed out of the corners. I feel like 6th gear is kind of really long, because we get up into 5th and then, or out of 5th, and then it just kind of seems to have no power almost, so not sure what's going on there, if it's just the gears or if I'm just imagining it. I have to be really careful around this section because it's easy to make the car slide around those corners, as I kind of demonstrate there. But yeah, I would like to mess around with the gears and make 6th gear maybe a little bit shorter, because we're not going to be getting up to the 190, 200 miles an hour, whatever it said the top speed was going to be. We're not going to be getting anywhere near that. It'd be nice to have a little bit shorter gears in 6th there, just so that we can get that a little bit more acceleration. We seem to get up into 6th, but not really accelerate much after that. Not the most amazing of times. What was it? A 306.6. So we're about 0.2 of a second down on the BAC mono. Yeah, I'm kind of expecting this car to go the high 305s up around the Pontiac Firebird. I think that's probably one of its main targets. They're both relatively similar. They're both muscle cars. Both have kind of similar weights and power figures when they went out. So yeah, hopefully this car will go a little bit quicker. Alright, we are back for our second run with the HSV. Last run, we did have a few points where I kind of pushed the car a little bit too much. We didn't have any major, like, crashes or problems. We didn't bump into any walls. There's some sections where I think I could improve, carry a little bit more speed maybe. Yeah, this car, I don't know what it is about it. I think it's just maybe the gears. They just don't seem to really cooperate with the car. Because see, we're in 6th gear now, and we're actually losing speed in 6th. So 6th gear is kind of useless. Going downhill here, we did gain a little bit of speed. We're not really accelerating any more in 6th than we were in, say, 5th. It just drops us down to such a low rev range that, I don't know, we just don't get any acceleration, we don't get any get up and go in 6th, which is kind of an issue when this track is all about how much speed can you take around these corners and how much speed can you take down these straights. You need to be able to accelerate all the time in all possible areas, and we're just lacking that acceleration in 6th gear. Like I said, it'd be nice if I could just fiddle around with the gears, but I think I've said this before, I'm not going to be fiddling with any gears in any cars, because then it would kind of make it unfair, because we're running the cars how they're meant to be run, not tuned or anything like that. If I tune one car, then technically to make it fair, I should be tuning all of the cars, and I'm not going to get into that. But yeah, the car is relatively solid. It's not sliding around like I feared it might be. I feared that the back end might be a little bit too loose on this car. The first couple corners of the run kind of made me feel that way. Also, really underestimating the brakes. Oh, I get a little bit of a wiggle there and start to go off towards the trees. Yeah, the brakes are pretty good on this car. I kind of underestimate them. I feel like I'm driving a really heavy car. Just, it's my experience with driving muscle cars. Generally, they're relatively heavy. This one's not too bad. It's still kind of on the heavier side, but the brakes are phenomenal on this car for what it is and the speeds that it's doing. Yeah, I kind of underestimate them a little bit, or underestimate? Yeah, I underestimate them. I brake way too early through some of these corners, and I'm doing it. Even on this second one, I pushed a little bit too hard, but we kind of gathered it all back there. Yeah, so this car, it's handling itself fairly well. Like I said, a lot better than I figured it would be. We're up to 161 miles an hour. We were up to 160, and then we shifted into 6th, and then, of course, because of 6th gear, we kind of lost some speed there. We have a slide out of the final corner there, and then into the wall. That run is not going to be any better. Didn't really expect it to be any better. We just didn't have the we had a couple little mess ups throughout the run, so yeah, I wasn't really expecting that run to be on anything great. But yeah, we'll take it for its third run, hopefully get a decent run out of the car. Alright, we are back for the final run with the HSV. I'm hoping that I can actually get a good run out of this car. I'd like to see it go faster than it did. We're currently sitting at 306.6 with the car, which puts it, as I said after the first lap, 0.2 of a second down on the VAC mono. I think this car has potential. It has the potential to go quickly. I've said it through the last couple of laps that the real problem is just 6th gear is kind of useless at most points. I mean, you just don't get any go out of 6th. And I don't have it on manual gearbox or anything like that because I know it'd cock up gear changes left and right, so I'm not going to have that element of discontinuity almost through the cars. But yeah, I would like to be able to control this car kind of, but I know I'd end up messing things up. But yeah, I'm not going to harp on the 6th gear anymore. I kind of did that enough in the last lap. That was basically the story of that entire lap. Through this lap, I definitely want to make sure that I'm getting my braking points right. I'm braking way too early into some of these corners, I know I am. The car gets slowed down so phenomenally well that it's so easy just to outbrake, or not really outbrake yourself, to underbrake yourself. I don't think that's really the word I'm looking for, but I don't know what the word that I'm actually looking for is. Basically, you brake way too soon into a corner, and I've just been doing that way too much, and I feel like I can claw back quite a bit of time if I just take the time and brake later, like there. That was a much better braking than the last time we were through that section. The last time we were through that section, we almost ended up in the woods. So, yeah, I'm hoping that we're on for better lap time. I'm not sure if we are. Actually, we might not be on for too bad of a lap time, because I was just looking at the banners there, the checkpoint banners. Even though I have ghosts turned off, apparently the reason they kind of flicker around every once in a while is it's actually the ghost car driving over them. So it gives you kind of a gauge of where the ghost car might be, but you kind of have to have the ghost car running over the banners to actually figure that out. I did run quite wide and almost kissed the wall there on the outside. That section has been the victim of so much lost time, and I've harped on it so many times. Trying to carry as much speed as I can through there, and I almost just lost the back end there. Get off the grass. Get lined up for this final set of corners. Put the power down. It looks like it's going to be a decent lap. What will it be? It's going to be quick. It is a 304.5. It does beat out the Pontiac Firebird. Yeah, that's right around the time I figured it would go. I figured it would go high 305s. The Firebird was a 305.1. I figured it would go somewhere around there. It beat out the Firebird by about 0.6 of a second and is only 1/10 of a second down on the Acura NSX. So the HSV is in 3rd place, and I actually find it quite impressive after those first 2 runs not being amazing. And the fact that it's 1/10 of a second down on that NSX. That NSX was a phenomenal car to drive. It had so much grip. This was kind of the opposite. You kind of felt like you were on the edge of your seat through the whole thing, because you kind of felt like it at any point could just snap and spin you around and kill you. But yeah, that is going to be it for this video, guys. If you liked the video, hit the like button and be sure to subscribe, and until next time, goodbye.